from my point of view, information technology point of view, of course, there are many features in GAN 5 second edition, very interesting. First of all, it refers to the current state of the art of the world information technology, which is very different, of course, from the previous version. Because between 208 and 222, there are a geological era of based on technology, because the technology is very changed. For the first things is, it underlined the relationship between the good manufacturing practice, the GMP world, with the other main guideline, while using in other areas. For example, the ISO 9001, of course, regarding the extended approach to the quality, the extended approach, a complete approach to the company about quality, all the process related to the business, quality business, in quality. The second one is very important from the ICT version, the ICT environment, is the point related to the ITIL framework from the governance of the system service. Infrastructure, ITIL is a framework, historical framework to information technology library, and where the ICT infrastructure and service, whatever, indifferently they manage or put information about from the infrastructure on premises or service in cloud. And another one is a different approach to verify the situation, the standard internal of the company, based on a CMMI approach to identify in the organization which is the maturity level. And this is a standard, methodological standard, and it is possible to use it indifferently. For example, I use it in the Annex A of the ISO 271 security from information, or the same based to the another standard, the NIST cybersecurity assessment. Then it's very interesting because they open the GMP world to other environment and keep the best to the other. But unfortunately, from my point of view, of course, there are other guidelines that are not mentioned not directly mentioned in this version. For example, from the security, regarding the security logical and physical, the ISO 27, all the 27, because the 27 is the biggest one. And very important at the moment is for the cybersecurity framework, the National Institute of Standard and Technology, the American one, the NIST, because it's very important, because remember, in the same period, 202, the European community have introduced the new directive related to the increase the level of cybersecurity in Europe, named NIS2. It is very important because this is very a newest one about the security. And at the level of qualification, because remember, GAN 5 is related to good automated manufacturing practices, and then in which way to approach the governance of the system and qualify the system is a different introduction, because it's more clear the separation between application and infrastructure, and they clarify very well, or underline the difference and the classification about the component, the infrastructure, the component. And another one very important news is at the validation level, then the application level, the importance on the basis test performed by the supplier, because at the moment we use application built from a supplier, normal or standard application, and then we can, it's very important to use this kind of test, because every supplier tests the application before to sell it. they are invented this name unscripted test to determine the marketability of the application and underline the focus from a real application test, the GXP application test, named scripted test, in order to focus the validation only on what is truly important to the customer, truly important to GMP. Then it's very important because these news are not complete, but just the most important from my point of view, the innovative approach to this kind of new version of GAN 5 second edition. The IT, the innovation had a significant impact from the ICT component, because we are talking about ICT component. ICT is information and communication technology, because it's not, now we have based off all our activity in pharmaceutical, the same to based on communication. And then the innovation is a different approach, is push further toward the ICT governance integrated with the compliance. Compliance means quality and compliance, of course, quality and all the things about quality, qualification, compliance, validation, and so on, because the ICT is the governance of this. It's very important to understood and integrate with the compliance rule and guidance, share training between all the components. It's very important to share the technology and the knowledge of technology from IT to compliance, and the compliance to support the IT to understand which are the needs and the regulation. But the mass innovation, from my point of view, of course, is must collaborate with the compliance component in underlying the complexity of the infrastructure. We are not based on one computer and one user, but a complex infrastructure based on many levels of technology. And then it's very important to share this kind of complexity to the other component of the company, in compliance for the first, in order to ensure the compliance component of the correctness of the activity carried out. And of course, vice versa, compliance must collaborate with the ICT to the implementation of a process system that respects the needs, the business needs, the quality needs, and so, and the innovation, because technology have a speedily capacity to innovate continuously. It's process, idea, news, and so, but based on the rules that regulate the pharmaceutical industry. And the clear, another point very important is the clear classification of the infrastructure component will lead to, from my point of view, a simplification of compliance activity. Remember, compliance activity normally are paper-based, leading them to a more structured and solid governance through structured governance process. Typical IT structured governance process are named ITSM, and is specified, but the IT framework, remember, based on the management of the infrastructure called in this guidance. And the very important, because they have put a chapter based on the security, but the introduction of security components and concept highlighted the need to implement straight existing process by implementing, governing, and integrating the security concept within the governance process, because otherwise open the door to the high-level risk to the cybersecurity risk. And then it's better to merge the technology, the service, the process, and the new then arrive continuously about cybersecurity in ICT environment to the other component to be able to govern correctly the ICT, service, infrastructure, application, and so in a security environment to implement it. And this is a very interesting fight to the future, from my point of view, of course. The main challenges is related to the change of perspective that must be made by all the subjects, all the company subjects, stakeholder, compliance, and ICT. This is, they have to change and collaborate more strictly. Stakeholder must support compliance and ICT toward efficient and secure management of the company data and information. And this involves greater attention to changes and regulatory and technological needs, because to have a correct approach to the innovation and all what means innovation, digitalization, innovation, security, and so it's very important to understand that needs and put in place resources to ICT and compliance. Otherwise, it's very difficult to arrive to build a secure environment from the stakeholder, because the stakeholder, remember, are responsible to the security information, the private information, because it's the stakeholder the responsible. And then it's very important to understand it. Collaboration. Compliance. The compliance must overcome this rigidity that can be defined in obsolete behavior. Far from the digitalization concept indicated by FDA and the European regulation. Please, the use of paper, documenting signing of paper, printed and signing test, it's better to reviewing their own model of compliance, transforming quality and validation into something efficient from the company. What the company actually need, because the company have to need speedily changement, and then it's not possible to maintain something really old approach to govern the compliance, and not into something that view like only cost and consume time and resource, making the change a complexity and not an opportunity for the continuous improvement. ISO 9001 is very important to understand for the compliance, the standard concept, the standard worldwide concept based on continuous improvement. They have understood that the change are based on our activity, the own activity, our activity, because I work in the IT, and then I know what means the continuous improvement about the modification of the process, the environment, technology, and so and so. And then it's not possible to improve innovation without improve innovation in the area, the component area based on compliance. Because if you don't innovate your point of view of compliance, you risk to be a stopped all the activity, and this is wrong. For the company is wrong. And the last one, but not the last, is the ICT must take charge of its responsibility for the compliance governance of all the ICT service, data and information at component level, IT and OT, not only IT. OT are technological component, and they have the same needs about connectivity, security, cybersecurity, then the IT service are the same. Sharing innovation needs and solution with the compliance stakeholder areas, because it's very important to understood and share this, supporting all parties to introducing of the service and not remain sit on the table to, if you need something, ask me. If you don't ask me, I don't support you. No, supporting to the other production environment, quality environment, laboratory environment to support it, to identify which are the best solution, technological solution. Technological solution means security, connectivity, and so and so, because all this kind of service produce data, produce information, manage data, and all this kind of information and data arrive into the IT level system and service, because stakeholders use this. And then it's very important to share these kind of things and open its office and its information, is knowledge to all the company to support the modification, the changes, the innovation internally on the company, because they are really the owner and the responsible about the service and the system into the company. This is my point of view. I think GAMP5 second edition is something really quite completely innovative respecting to the previous version, because a geological era between the two, but it's very important to understand it's time to change the approach, the internal company approach, stakeholder, compliance, and IT. This is my point of view, and this is the things we would like to introduce in the symposium next June.